So welcome everyone to our second meeting in December for our VBStem trifecta. I appreciate everyone being here today. What we're going to do today, I want to show you a couple things. First off, again, I gave you access to some different labs called RH124, and these are the Red Hat labs, and I'll give you the content again starting in January, mid-January. But these labs give you access to a pod environment that will allow you to learn how to access and use Linux, and this is really the environment that's in it. There are three machines in here: a server, a desktop, and then classroom. And the documents are just like our other labs. It gives you information about logins, and then it walks you through the exercises. So these will teach you everything from how to simply open a console or a terminal, which we'll do today in our lab, all the way through, like today, we're going to look at how to actually use the command line to work with different files. So today we're going to do the lab 2.6 practice command line file management. I would go back and do labs 1.4 and 1.7 and then work your way through, as these will give you a great deal of information on how to use the Linux boxes that we use inside of our ethical hacking pods. In the future, I may actually teach this first, but I like to get you into the ethical hacking pods because I want you to see how it works and to kind of get some fun time. And that's kind of what I see the ethical hacking as. Once you get in there, you can play with those, and it gets you more, gets you excited about using the tools when you start hacking into things and see how it works. But now we're going to go back and kind of give you some of the background information on some of the commands we've been using. So go ahead and enter your lab if you have not done so. And then I'm going to open the content, and I'm actually going to do something here. I'm going to open it in a new window, and I'm going to pull it out and make it a separate window on another side for me so that I'm not blocking the space for you. So we're going to pull up this lab again. Go ahead, and I'm just going to bring it back up real quick. Just go ahead and bring it up and scroll down, and you'll see we're going to be working from the desktop. So it's going to ask you, it says, actually we're going to do server 1 in this case. It says click on server 1, and then it asks you to log in as a student user, and I'm going to pull over my lab over here, so I've got it available. So I'm going to log in as a student user with a password of student. You'll notice this is a little different than our Kali Linux, because this is Red Hat Enterprise Linux. Red Hat is an open source company out of Raleigh, North Carolina. They're a very big company. They provide Red Hat to enterprise corporations. They make their money by selling support to Red Hat Enterprise Linux. And it is another flavor of Linux. So we play with Kali Linux. You've seen Ubuntu, probably Debian. They're OpenSUSE. That's in our labs for Red Hat, or for the ethical hacking labs. This is just another flavor of Linux, but it's a very well-known flavor of Linux that's used a great deal throughout the industry. They also have some very well-respected certifications. So if you're not familiar with Red Hat, you can always just go to redhat.com, and you can take a look at what Red Hat is and what they do. Okay. You can also look at Red Hat certifications, and you will see that Red Hat has multiple certifications. And one of the things we're actually doing is preparing you for one of the lower level certifications, and they actually talk about some of their different certifications. But we'll talk more about this later as we move forward. Right now, you're logged in. You're in a Red Hat Enterprise Linux box, and you'll see that it's similar to the Linux we've used before. You do have an applications item at the top that gives you a drop-down showing you different things already pre-installed. We are going to click on Terminal, which opens up a terminal window that we've already seen. It's very similar to anything we've done inside of our enterprise, our ethical hacking labs, if we're inside of Kali Linux. So the terminal is very similar. We are going to do some things today to show you how to create files in Linux. Hey Jake, how are you doing? If you will, log into vecompetitions.stanley.edu and start a lab reservation for lab 2.6 under RH124, which is your Red Hat Linux labs. That's what we're working on. We're on page 8 of that lab document at this moment. So what we're going to first do is we're going to create some files using a command called touch. Now be aware, as I've told you before, if you ever want to know what a command is about or how to use it, you can always do man touch, and it will take you to the man or the manual page for that particular command. It shows you that this is a file argument, touch, change file timestamps, or touch to create a file. And it goes on down. It tells you what you can do here with these. But we're going to use the command as it shows in the lab, touch song1.mp3, song2.mp3, all the way up to song, let's say I got song 6, up to song 6, song 3.mp3, song 4.mp3, song 5.mp3, and song 6.mp3. Hit enter. Now if you do an ls, you will see that there are now 6 different files that you created. They're all empty files, but they're still files that have been created. And we're going to do the same thing to create 6 files for Snap. Now here's something you can do. You could just hit the up arrow and change these with Snap, but because this is so long, up arrow, by the way, gives you the last series of commands in your history. So there's a history commands in terminal history. But I'm just going to do it again. I'm going to go to touch, and this is step B, snap1.jpg, snap2.jpg, snap3.jpg, snap4, snap5, and snap6.jpg. Now, by the way, ls is a list command, and you'll see it shows you what all of the information about the files and folders inside of a particular directory. If you do an ls-la, it will give you more information. We'll actually show you here. By the way, this initial item here, D, means that this is a directory. Okay, so when we do just an ls, let's just do an ls again. You'll see the directories are in blue, and then the files are in different colors. But if you do an ls-la, again, using the up arrow, you can see the actual directories have D at the beginning to specify that they are directories. The files have a dash in the beginning. And then you will see these are different permissions that we'll talk about later. The read, write, read, execute, all of those. We'll talk about those permissions down the road, but right now we're not going to do that. Now, last item is to touch 6 film files. So let's do touch. If I can type film 1.avi through 6. So I'll let everybody do that. And you probably type better than I do since my hands do not work great. I could be hit by a truck. But thank God they work at all. And you have to relearn how to walk and relearn how to use your hands. You're thankful even when it works. Now, if you're doing ls-l, just L, you'll see that it shows you all the files that you've created. So we created, in total, 18 files using the touch command. Now, you want to move, and that's one of the things, as we move down and look at, on page 8, the Linux file system and the Linux series of commands. There's a couple of things I want to tell you. First off, if I tried to do this, let's see if this works. And it may work, but it probably won't. Okay. You'll notice that when I did touch with a capital, it said, hey, this does not exist. I can't run this command. The Linux file system is case sensitive, and it is very particular to syntax. That's one of the reasons why you need to use the man pages to learn syntax, or the Holy Google. I use the Holy Google a lot too. But you need to make sure you're able to do that. Now, you can move files using the move command. So MV is the move command. Now, one of the things we want to do is we want to do some management here. So we want to move them from one directory to another. So we're actually going to create some new directories. And in Linux, the command is make directory. And we're going to make the directory friends, family, and work. And so we're going to, and then when you do this and do an ls-l, you will see now that you've got some new directories. You've got work, you've got friends, and you've got family. So we made those new directories. If we had done the make dir command, by the way, if I do make dir and I do work, you will see it created a work folder that is a capital W. So those are two separate folders. I'm also going to remove now the work directory. So you have to do the remove -r. And that's recursive, and the reason I have to do that is because it will delete all the files in there. You can't delete a directory without deleting the files in it, even though there were no files in it. That's one of the funky things. Now, this is step 5 on page 9. So we've made our files, we made our directories. Okay. So now we're going to move songs from one to another. Okay. Now, I've actually skipped a step. Sorry, I skipped step 4. We're going to move the songs from the base folder into the music folder. So we're going to do this. MV, and then we're going to do song. Now, here's one of the things you can do that a lot of people don't realize. If you do watch this. If you do SO tab, it'll do song, and then do 2, it will automatically autocomplete for you. So you can, instead of having to type all this, I type SO tab, 4 tab, SO tab, 5 tab, SO tab, 6 tab. And it does all that, and I'm doing music. And now if we do an ls-l, you'll see there are no music or song files in the directory anymore. But if you change the directory to music and do an ls, you'll see that all your files have been moved there. Okay. So the move command is used to move files from one location to another location. So one folder to another folder. This will be important when you start making PCAP files that you want to use from Wireshark, and you need to move them from one folder to another. Or if you want to, later on we do some labs in the ethical hacking where you create files and then you add in words for a password hacking. So the touch command will be important there. All right. I'm going to do cd dot, which backs me up 1. Actually, the cd dot dot, which should back me up 1. And takes me back to the main. That backs up 1 file folder, so add a music. We made our folders in step 5, so now what we're going to do is we're going to copy files. Now, what we're going to do here, in step 6 on page 10, it says you will collect some of the new files in the project directories for family and friends. You're going to have to use only one command as an example. For each project, first change the project directory, then copy the source files to this directory. You're making copies, so you'll be keeping the original. So what we're going to do is copy all the files containing numbers 1 and 2 to the friends folder. So what they're going to do here is they're going to use the command. If you look at it, first go into the friends folder. And don't forget you can use the tab key to finish. Then we'll go copy tilde, which means that directory, music, music, / song1.mp3 tilde / music song2.mp3. Okay. Actually, we need to copy. I made a mistake here. We need to copy or move first. Let's drop back 1, cd dot dot. Okay, make sure we're at this. Let's copy the snap into the pictures folder and the videos, the film into the video folder. So let's do cp. And let me show you a cool thing we can do here. Here's an easy way to do it. cp star.jpg. Okay. And we're going to change those to the pictures. Okay. Now what I should have actually done is move. but let's do this. Let's look at this. Let's go into CD pictures now. And you'll see I copied all the pictures there. Now, I didn't remove them like I should have. CD ... remember, takes us back. I left the pictures here. I accidentally left them here also. But watch what I can do now. I can do remove star.jpg, and now it deletes all those files. Now, notice something. Here's something very important about Linux. I told it to delete those files, star.jpg, and it did it. There was no, are you sure? Would you like to? You think this is okay? No, it just did it. So with Linux, you need to be careful because you can delete things that you need to keep. All right. So let's move again. Let's do move star. By the way, the star means anything named .avi, okay, to the videos folder. Now you'll notice there are no AVI, snaps, or other items, documents, or family in any music inside of those folders. So now we can go back and do the friends. So CD friends. Oh. It helps if you spell it right. Notice it did not have, it was not capitalized, so it would not work. I'm gonna stop right here for a second. Is everybody with me? Jake, Amisha. We're on page 10, item 6. Page 10, item 6. We have moved our snaps into the pictures folder. We have moved our film files into the videos, and we have moved the MP3 files into the music. And that was using the commands shown on page 9, step 4. And we're now on step 6, page 10. Okay, I'll slow down just a little bit. Let's get caught up, make sure everybody's on. We're getting ready to copy some files. So we moved them, and now we're going to copy them. Everybody kind of get in that CD friends folder, and then we'll start copying some items. I'm gonna go ahead and do the syntax here. So cp tilde, which means that directory, music, song 1, tilde, music, song 2, tilde, pictures, and notice it won't tab unless it is unambiguous. In other words, if I just put /p tab, even capitalized P, notice it won't do it because there's multiple things. There's public and pictures. As soon as I do PI and tab, it will then do it. Snap to JPEG, and we'll do tilde. And since V is the only thing, videos will actually work after the first V. Film 1.avi and tilde videos. Film 2.avi. Okay. So what this command does is it copies song 1, song 2, snap 1, snap 2, and film 1, film 2 into this friends folder that we have created. So if I hit enter, I did something wrong here. Copy target home students videos film to AVI is not a directory. Okay. Let me troubleshoot here, folks. Uh-oh. Okay, there they are. Yep, they're not a directory. I understand that. No, it's wrong. Now notice I typed exit, and guess what it did? It kicked me out. Again, when you make mistakes, it does not care. And I also lost every bit of my command history. No, I didn't. I got it. Copy target home. All right, let's do this then. All right. Oh, I know what it is. I'm going to do this. Notice that when you look at the command, I didn't put the dot. I didn't put the destination. So the dot means copy it to this folder. And so it was trying to say, I was trying to say copy song 1, song 2, snap 1, snap 2, film 1 into the folder called film ABI. But I actually wanted to copy it into the strings directory where I'm at. So this dot will put it in that local folder. Now if I do ls-la or L, you'll see that all those have been copied. So you'll notice if you don't follow the directions exactly, it won't work. So that is an important lesson. And you can see that in step 6A, you'll see the command is copy those 6 different items and then space dot. And the dot is a destination directory, which is the directory that you're in currently. If you were not in that directory, you would have to actually specify the directory name. All right. So let's go down to step B, where we're going to use the command cd /family, and that will change us to the family folder. We're going to copy all types using numbers 3 and 4 to the family folder. Now, what I would do is use the up arrow and just go back and change just these. So 4 and 3. And then this way, use the arrow keys to move back and forth. And then that way you don't have to retype everything. And this is one thing you'll learn is how to use, and if you ever take a Cisco course, most of the commands that you're using here will do the same thing. So now we're copying song 3 and 4, snap 3 and 4, and film 3 and 4 into the family folder. And that's what this dot means because we're in this folder now. So if we just hit enter, do an ls-l, you will see that I copied only items 3 and 4 into the family folder. The final item they had you do is copy 5 and 6 into the work folder. So I want you to do that, items 5 and 6 from each one into the work folder. So I'm going to let you do that on your own on page 11. So go ahead and do that and then let me know when you've got that completed. Notice how to use dot dot to move back up there. Again, I'm going to use the up arrow and just change these to 5 and 6. It's all about learning how to be more efficient. And also realizing that Linux is very peculiar about the way you do things. So let me know when you get to this point and you've copied those final ones, because we're going to then show you something else. Okay, is everybody caught up? If you do get caught up, I want you to type CD and enter, which will take you back to the main folder and then our main directory, it's your home directory for student, and do an LS to show all the folders that are there. We're on the top of page 11, step 8. Now, what we're going to try to do, or what we're going to do, is I want to show you how to remove directories, which I showed you a little bit earlier. But the command is rm, remove directory, and then we're going to remove the family and the friends directory. But you'll notice it says, failed to remove because it's not empty. In order to remove a directory that is not empty, in other words, a directory that has files already in it, you must use the command remove directory -r, it's cursive, which means delete everything inside of it, and then do friends and family, or family and friends, however they wanted it, by the way. But notice when you do that, oops, what did I do wrong? That's because I got the RM, not RM. I did it wrong anyway. Remove family, friends, and it's going to tell you it's a directory. You cannot remove it. Okay. So we do RM -R, and then we do family and friends. And look what happens. Family and friends is gone. No, are you sure? Would you like to? It's just removed and deleted. So again, very powerful, but also very dangerous if you do it by accident. So go ahead and remove the directory family and friends. And then we're going to show you a couple other things you can do in terms of how you can remove items from within a directory without removing the entire directory. And then I'm going to give you some assignments. Everybody good? Amisha, Jake, you okay? Okay, good. You'll see one of the last things they want you to do in this particular lab is they want you to remove all the files in work without removing the work folders or directories. So let's do CD work. We'll do an LS and just show the files that are in there. Now, what they have you do in the lab, you'll see them doing remove, RM song 5, and then or film 5, they do it like this. They do film 5, then they do film 6, and so on and so forth. So, but they're having you delete everything inside of the folder. If you were going to do that, okay, it's much easier just to do rm **, okay, and you'll notice that everything is now gone. So I don't know why they're giving you this long thing of typing out rm all these. I'm going to go back here and touch real quick, film 5.avi. I'm going to put a couple files back in here real quick because I want to show you what you could do. Snap 5.jpg and song 5.mp3. Okay, now you notice these files are back in here. Okay, but let's say I only want to remove one file. Well, then I could do the remove film 5.avi and hit enter, and you'll see it only removes that one particular file. But if you're going to delete everything anyway, just do rm **. Okay. Now, somebody type in what I would remove if I only wanted to remove the MP3 files from the folder. So if I had touch film 1.avi, film 2.avi, snap 1.jpg, snap 2.jpg, song 1.jpg, MP3, song 2.mp3. What would be a shorthand way that I could remove just the MP3 files? There's two ways you could do this. Type in how you would do it. Jake and Amisha both type into the chat how you would do it. The two different ways to get rid of just the MP3 files. Okay, Amisha's put in what she would put. That's correct. Jake, what would you do? You see what she's put in. The fast way to do it would be rm *.mp3. That would get rid of all the MP3 files. It is also valid to say you could do rm song 1, MP3 song 2. That's just a little faster way of doing it, or a little slower way of doing it. But rm *.mp3, you'll notice that removes just the MP3 files. Okay. Now let's remove all files from in here so we meet the requirement. **. And now that folder or directory is completely empty. By the way, a directory is the equivalent of a folder in Windows. It's a very similar thing. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you some assignments. I want you to create files, VBStem 1 through 6 .text in the root directory. So to get your root directory, do cd ... and you'll be in the home. That's not the root directory, it's your home directory. So the first thing I want you to do is create the files VBStem 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then I want you to create a directory called VBStem. And then move the files created in the first item to the VBStem folder or directory. Okay, so I'm going to give you about 5 minutes to do that real quick. It shouldn't take long, but go ahead and see if you can get that done. Then I'll show you how to do it. Amisha and Jake, both send me a quick chat when you're done, and then I'll show you the way you can go through these. Okay, everybody, you ready to make this happen? Okay. Well, here's what we're going to do. First, we're going to create the files. Now, notice, remember, lowercase versus uppercase are totally different files. So, if you did it lowercase, you would not have been graded correctly. And I did not realize how hard it was to type VBStem, but it is. So now you'll see I've got those 6 text files that I created. Now I'm going to create a directory with the make directory command called VBStem. Okay. Now there's a couple ways you could do this as far as moving the files into the other directory. One way would be to MV. So you're down here and you type MV, and then you could do VBStem1, and then VBStem2, so on and so forth. But you'll also notice that all these are .text files. So the easiest way to do it would have been to do mv star.txt, okay, / VB, well, I lost focus here, VBStem, oops, or just actually just do VBStem text, VBStem, and now you'll see they're not there anymore, but if I go into CD VBStem and do an ls, you'll see all my text files are there. So you created them using the touch command, then you created a directory using the make directory command, and then you moved those items into that particular folder, the VBStem. Now what I want you to do is I want you to create another folder in your home directory named copy. Then copy files VBStem1 and VBStem3, actually the VBStem6, to that folder. So you want to make backup copies of them. So do that for me real quickly. Let's see what you get. Don't forget to move back to your home directory. Move back to your main directory before you make this. Okay, well, let's show how to do this now. So what we're going to do, if you created a folder here, okay, so if you didn't, or a directory, make dir, and you did copy. Notice that we created it inside of the VBStem folder. So we didn't want that, okay? we want to do cd ... and that would take us back to our home directory. And then we were going to make the directory copy. Okay. And then we're going to copy out VBStem1 and VBStem6.txt. So you have to do cp / or cp VBStem /VBStem .txt, and then VB, you're probably going to have to do like this. I think you're going to have to do the VBStem again, /VBStem, gotta spell it right, stem6.txt, to the copy folder. So, yep, notice I did it wrong. I put in a capital instead of a lowercase, and it was not going to work. Now you'll see if I go into copy, you'll see that those two files are there. So again, very case sensitive. If you don't put in exactly what it wants, then it will not work. Are there any questions about this lab and about playing around? Go ahead and play around with these commands and making directories and creating files, copying them, moving them. Okay. Now, how would I want you now to delete the copy folder or the copy directory. Directory. So how would you do that? What command would you do to get rid of it? So how would you delete the copy directory? Man, I tell you what, that was terrible typing on my part there. Delete the copy directory. Much better. What would be the command to do that? Amisha or anybody? How would you get rid of that copy directory? Now remember, it's got things in it. So you have to be careful. Okay, so let's try that. Let's try just rm dir copy, or uppercase if you use that. Notice it will not let me do it because it's not empty. If it was an empty directory, that would work. What was the switch we had to use if there were files inside of the directory that we wanted to also get rid of? Okay. Well, on mine, I messed up. You'll notice mine's lowercase c. Okay, so I messed up. I made mine a lowercase c. But if there are files inside of it, you've got to do -r copy. Well, maybe rm, not remove directory. -r copy. Now you'll see it got rid of it for me. Let me make the directory again. Let me do make directory, and I'll do uppercase. Okay. You'll see here's copy, and there's nothing in it. So if I go to copy, do an ls, there's nothing in it. So I can do a remove copy. Copy. It's a directory. So I can do remove. I'm going to do this. And it'll actually get rid of it. But if it's got information in it, it will not work. So if I do a CD, excuse me, let's do make directory copy. Then I'm going to go into copy and do a touch test.text. Okay, and then drop back out. Go back into the main home, do rm-dir copy. See, it will not do it. Won't remove the directory because it's not empty. But if I do a rm-r copy, it will delete it. So the remove command will remove it if I apply the -r command. All right. So again, it's just learning to use the commands inside of the version of Linux that you've got to be able to create, delete, move, all these different items. I'm going to stop the recording.